Greetings and salutations. Hope you're all doing well. Let's talk about viruses and bacteria. We all know about the recent coconut 19, right? I must have at least 19 coconuts there, right? We all know about the coconut 19 situation that's been going around, right? And the premise of it is there is this evil virus that's spreading from one human to the other and is causing them great despair and loss of mobility and loss of vitality and well-being. So yeah, most humans are under the impression that the way you get sick is you somebody throws a 19 coconuts at you and suddenly you're like immobilized and you're on the brink of death, and that's far from the truth, right? It's not. This is not how you get sick. This is just how the Rockefellers told you how to get sick. Okay, so we have two premises here, two different theses, two different theories on how we get sick. The first one is the germ theory, and the premise of that is you catch a virus, you catch this evil thing that's going to attack you and that's going to weaken you and that could potentially kill you. Weakens your immune system, can potentially kill you. The other theory, it's called the terrain theory, the terrain model, is that your terrain, the environment that you're in, determines if you're gonna get sick or not get sick. And if you do get sick, it means you need to get sick. So I'll explain briefly what that is, maybe not so briefly, we'll see how this video goes, based on my understanding and based on my experience with these things, okay? So, because it's one thing to understand it theoretically, but then another thing to begin to experience these things for yourself, okay? So I'll explain that. First of all, I'm going to start by using the pretty common analogy of, think of viruses, bacteria, fungus as garbage men, okay? And they're there to collect garbage. So if you catch a particular virus from somebody, let's say, right? Let's say you catch a particular virus and you get sick. Think of that virus as a garbage man that has come to you to collect all the garbage that you have in your body. And that's why you're sick, okay? Because that particular virus, each strain of bacteria, each strain of virus, each strain of fungus is designed for a specific function, to collect a specific type of waste. So if, let's say, someone is sick and you catch that virus, and that virus goes in you and you get sick too, you're sick, it means there was garbage inside your body in which that particular virus is designed to collect. So actually, viruses, bacteria, fungus are not these evil beings. In fact, they're benevolent. They're there to help you. They're there to collect the garbage. They're there to clean you out. Now, if you don't have that kind of garbage in your system, guess what? That virus goes inside your body, it goes inside your system, looks for the garbage, sees none, leaves your body. The body just filters it out through all the different elimination channels. You don't get sick. You don't get sick. If you're a healthy person, you could be around the sickest of the sick. Okay, you could go and roam freely in the hospital with all these sick people. If you're really truly healthy, nothing's gonna happen to you. The worst, and maybe you just sneeze something. You may get a couple of sneeze. Maybe you need an extra hour to sleep that night. That's it. That's the sickness. If you're like super clean, you probably don't even really need that. Maybe a sneeze will do. Okay? If you've got no garbage, no waste in you, all these evil viruses, bacteria, fungus, whatever that you're breathing in, that you're catching, are just going like through your system like it's nothing. They just go in, they look for garbage. Oh, this motherfucker doesn't have any garbage. All right, peace out. I'm out. See you later. Right? No need for me. I'm not needed here. I'll go look for somebody else. So they're benevolent. They're clean. Like Don't you love your local garbage man? Imagine your local garbage man wasn't coming to you every day, right? Our garbage day here is on Monday, right? I'm grateful for the garbage men. They come. If they didn't come in, oh my God, this beautiful neighborhood that I'm in with all this beautiful nature would just be like waste everywhere. I don't want that. Nobody wants that. These garbage men are benevolent beings. These viruses, these bacteria are benevolent beings. They're there to clean you out and clean. They eat waste. That's what the fungus. Their job of fungus is to eat waste. Okay. Now, this is not the only way viruses come into your system. In fact, you have inside of you have bacteria. And think of this bacteria and these viruses as dormant. They're dormant. Okay. Meaning what's dormant? Dormant means they're sleeping in a way. Okay. They're sleeping. They come to life if there is a need for them to come to life. So, you don't actually need to catch a virus from someone else to get sick. If you're living like in total isolation, let's say I live in this cabin and that's it. I never leave this cabin that I'm in. I just live in it forever. I don't interact with anybody, and just the food gets magically delivered to me, not even by another human. I snap a finger and it appears. And let's say every day I'm just taking in like I'm eating McDonald's, Burger King, right? At some point, there's gonna be so much waste in my body that I'm just gonna get sick like that. Like I'm just gonna get the flu. You see? Because inside of my body, there are these benevolent beings, these bacteria, these viruses, fungus, whatever you wanna call it, whatever name you wanna give to it. And they're gonna be called upon. There's gonna be like so much garbage. There's gonna be so much garbage in the system that there's gonna be like an emergency call placed, and they're all gonna like come to rescue. Yeah, they're gonna come to the rescue. They're gonna just all be like, all right, coming in. Sit the fuck down. You're bedridden. You've got a fever. You're sick. We need to clean you out right now. And they all come out of the dormancy, and they begin their job. They begin to clean you out. And that process is what we call the flu. So I'm gonna get the flu anyway. If I'm just eating junk food every day, not interacting with a single human, I'm gonna get it. Plain and simple, I'm gonna get it. You see? Now, if you're in a dirty environment, let's say, or you're surrounded by sick people, of course, because that environment contains so much waste, there's so many like bacteria and viruses and all kinds of things in that environment that you're gonna get sick. Like, let's say, I'll give you two examples here. If I was to interact with nobody, snap a finger and a Big Mac appears, and I eat a Big Mac meal, the whole meal with the fries and everything, 3 times a day, right? Let's say it takes me maybe a month before I get a flu. Okay, let's say if a month I get a nasty flu to clean me out. But let's say I'm eating the same 3 meals of Big Mac a day. But let's say every day I go and work in like a factory with so many toxic fumes and people around me sick. I'm gonna probably get sick a lot quicker, because all this bacteria, all these viruses floating around, because there's so much sickness, so much waste, they're gonna enter me, and the cleaning process is gonna begin earlier. You see, it's gonna begin earlier. So maybe it'll take me a week or 2 weeks before I get the flu. So it's only a matter of how fast do you get that flu. Whether you're around people, whether you catch a virus, or whether you don't, you're gonna get sick. And that sickness is a cleansing process. It's the garbage man. So welcome them with open arms. Okay? Welcome them with open arms. And you, like I said, you have these things inside of you. Fungus, think of fungus. Fungus feeds on dead matter. If you're eating rotting dead flesh every day, what do you think that's doing in your gut? What do you think that's doing in your intestines? It's rotting there. It's death cells. What do you think is going to happen? These things are putrefying. What do you think is going to happen? You're going to have this fungus come and grow, feeding on the dead matter. Okay? So again, let me re-emphasize this. Bacteria, viruses, fungus, whatever you want to call them, these agents of cleansing, these benevolent beings, these garbage men. They're garbage men. Think of them as garbage men. They're there to clean you out. And so as long as there's a ton of garbage in you, there's gonna be a lot of cleaning in there. If you clean yourself out, if you really clean yourself out, you're never gonna get sick again. You may get like just get a sneeze. You may be somewhere and there's toxic fumes, and you go achoo, achoo. Maybe for a couple of hours you feel a little down. You just need to close your eyes. You're good after. Whereas someone else would get like so sick from that. Okay. So, what is like a really common way of people getting sick? Food poisoning, because the primary way in which we are putting waste in our bodies is through what we put in our mouths. Okay, that's the truth. The truth is, that's how we're accumulating the vast majority of waste in our bodies, through what we are ingesting in our mouths, in the form of so-called food and in the form of drugs, whether they're pharmaceutical drugs or just recreational drugs. Okay, and the more you put of these things, the more these dormant bacteria, viruses, fungal growth is gonna have to come out of the dormancy state to clean you out. Okay, so if you clean yourself out, if you're really clean, you've done a ton of fasting, you eat nothing but fruits primarily for 99% of the time, you're never gonna get sick again. Like, just not, there's no need for that, because there's no need. Like, you can have all kinds of viruses come into your system, but there's no waste in here, so they're just gonna get flushed out of your system. They're just gonna come here, come go. You know, if the garbage man comes to your door and there's no garbage, what does it do? Just comes, looks, nothing, keeps going, right? Let's say your neighbor is the next one. Let's say your neighbor's right here. You're here. Your neighbor's right here. See, oh, there's no garbage. All right, I'm gonna keep going. Neighbor, oh my God, the neighbor has 20 garbage bags. Okay, the garbage truck, the garbage men are gonna be here for a while, right? For a while, especially if they have to sort out the garbage. If each bag is gonna have to go to a different place, because that's what this bacteria, the fungus, the viruses have to do. You know, they have specific. They're specific. Each one of them has a specific waste product to clean. So if you have a ton of garbage, you're gonna have to spend a long time in front of your house to sort out all that garbage and take it. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. You ain't gotta worry about shit. You ain't gotta worry at all. Okay, you don't have to worry. I never ever get the flu now. Never ever get the flu. And you know something? I know that's a contradiction, but I'm gonna take you. So when I say I never get the flu, I never get the flu. So as long as I'm eating a mucusless diet, and so as long as I'm eating in relatively small quantities, or let's say relatively small quantities, or just what I need, and so as long as I'm doing some fasting, so as long as I'm moving, I'm active, I never ever get sick, as long as I'm doing these things. But I remember in Thailand, I had like 2-week period. I was just going to vegan restaurants and just eating like heavy, dense, oily vegan food. And after about 2 weeks of doing that, I got a nasty flu. I got a nasty flu. It lasted me for like 7 to 10 days. Nasty flu. I was shivering. I had a fever. I obviously knew what was going on. Okay, I just went on like a 2-week binge. I was eating garbage, vegan junk food. Okay, oily and it's just nasty. It's not what goes in here. Okay, and I got sick after 2 weeks. I got a flu. I knew, because I knew exactly what was going on. I wasn't surprised one bit. Okay. Oh, then actually here in Vilcabamba too, me and Miranda went out. We went out to this vegan restaurant. We had this super greasy fried food, and I got sick after. It wasn't a nasty flu, but it was a sickness. I had to go on an orange juice cleanse for 48 hours. Just drank nothing but orange juice to heal that. I was sneezing. I had a big headache. Right, so that wasn't a flu, but that was like a minor sickness because of obviously what I ate. But as soon as I removed these things, I started eating just fruits. I can't get sick. I cannot get sick. Okay, I just cannot get sick. But what happens when I eat those certain things that don't belong in this body, all these dormant bacteria, virus, fungus, whatever you want to call it, they come out of the dormancy state and they begin to spend energy cleaning me out. And I must just say thank you to them instead of seeing them as these evil things. Okay? So yeah, that's pretty much in a nutshell for you. That's terrain model. You want, if the terrain is in tip-top shape, you ain't got nothing to worry about. You don't have to worry about germs. if it's in tip-top shape, right? Like if the soil is in tip-top shape, the tree just grows. If the soil is depleted, then the tree has a much more difficult time growing, right? And it can even like it starts to have fungus growing and things like that, right? It begins deteriorating if the soil is in a deterioration state. It's the terrain that causes us to grow, to be elevated, that causes us a state of well-being, a state of happiness, which is our natural state. Okay? So, moral of the story, think of viruses, bacteria, fungus as benevolent, loving garbage men that come to you to clean you out. And if you don't like how it feels when they're cleaning you out, clean yourself out and don't put in garbage in there again, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. The garbage truck will come right there. Oh, there's nothing. It'll keep going. Okay? Thank you for watching these videos. If you would like to donate to this channel, if you've got a couple of $1 million hanging around, don't know what to do with them, I'll take them off your hands and do something with them. Okay? So you can donate down below in the description. I also do consultations one-on-one. If you would like to book a consultation, you can do so in the description, and I will see you guys in the next video.